What's up, everyone? Welcome to Desmond's Garage. I'm Desmond. Today, we have a project on my 1951 Dodge B3B. The brakes have gone out. I was driving the other day, the pedal felt a little squishy, and then suddenly it just kept going. And the truck didn't stop. So our brake lines have sprung a leak somewhere, and we need to fix that. So I rebuilt the whole truck over the last couple years, including the brake lines from the ground up. So we're gonna get in here and see what's happened. I've traced the leak, I think, to this rear wheel. There's some film on the tire, and on the inside of the rim, some of the paint had bubbled off, which is what brake fluid will do if it sits in paint for a while. So I'm suspicious of what's going on inside this brake drum. I've already checked the line coming in from the truck to the cylinder here, and that's tight, so I think that's okay. But these brake drums have two cylinders, one for each shoe. So there's a little connecting line that goes between them, and my suspicion is that has come loose. So in order to test this, we have to take the wheel off, we gotta pull the hub out and get in there and tighten it and see if that fixes it. Once we're done, we'll put it back together, and then we have to bleed the brakes. So that will be the latter half of the video. For now, we're going to get this thing taken apart. That is how it's done. Sounded like something went flying, but very good here. So, here's the inside of our drum, and right off the bat we can see brake fluid. More brake fluid blew out. The moment of truth. Here's our little connecting situation from top cylinder to the bottom, and you can see all of this leaking fluid down here. And it looks like some leaking fluid there. So we'll tighten all of this up. Some items of concern. Looks like a big chunk got taken out of that. I don't know where that came from. And also up here. So it's like something was spinning around. But I don't know what would have done that. At any rate, it seems like we need to push this back in more towards this. This section is a little proud, so something in there must have caught it. And maybe over time, as it's hitting this thing, nicking it out, it's pulling on the whole link and knocking the connections loose. So we're going to clean this up, tighten our thing here, and then press this back. And then for good measure, we'll clean some of the rust off of this tapered shaft. Well guys, I take it back. On closer inspection, this is totally nicked through this pipe. And that is what caused the leak, not some kind of pressure pulling it away from the caliper to unseat it. This is definitely busted. So we need to order a new one. I might get a soft one, which will be a little easier to route around the hub. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I'll pick something up and wait for that to get here, and then we can start putting it back together. So we're in here now with the brake drum off, and I have this new brake line that I ordered. It came with a 90-degree bend here at the top, which should hopefully help keep things out of the way. It's also going to be kind of long, so what we'll do is add a little loop in it, which will also help relieve some pressure and give us some flexibility as we try to bend it into our target caliper here. This is the original, so we have a sense for what it's going to look like. And let's see. Well, it's not pretty. It's sort of pretty. It's not super pretty, but it works. I have this new pipe bent, which was not fun. There's a couple of false starts along the way. Anyway, your mileage may vary. I don't enjoy doing it. I'm not very good at it, but this should work. It's in there, it's snug. I put the hub on and spun it around a bit with some of the lug nuts in it. It seems to clear just fine. So we're gonna roll with it. Looks good. So what's next is we're going to reassemble this hub and then bleed the brakes. Before we can bleed the brakes, we have another little side quest. We have to make an adapter for the pressure bleeder that I got. The pressure bleeder has a pump on it and has a hose coming off. This is the original thing that it came with. This is supposed to screw onto your master cylinder. The hose comes in here, and then the pressure of the brake fluid from the pressure bleeder thing forces it through your system, so you just go to the wheels and open your bleeder valve, and then it forces the fluid through. So you don't have to squeeze it out with like a vacuum pump or pump the brake pedal to get it to go. So this will not fit on my master cylinder, which is old and different. The cylinder has this drain plug or filler plug or whatever. It's on the top, so I guess it's a filler, not a drain. This is a 1/2 NPT National Pipe Thread plug. So we need to make an adapter that screws into that can connect to my bleeder. So I have this pipe here. This is 1/2 NPT on both ends. One end will screw into the master cylinder, and this other end, we have this cap, which is also 1/2 NPT. So into this cap, we need to drill and tap a hole to mount this quick release. This is 1/4 inch NPT. So we'll drill it through here, add some, pipe tape, some Teflon tape to seal it up, and then screw this whole assembly into the master cylinder, and then take the hose that would plug into this from the bleeder and attach it to it. And that way we can force the fluid into our master cylinder. So you will get this cap set up in my drill press. I have a set of pipe taps, and the pilot hole, according to my engineer's black book, for 1/4 inch NPT, 7/16. So we'll drill a little pilot hole, then go up to 7/16, and then tap it. With that, we've got our adapter. Looking good. Some Teflon tape in here. This doesn't go all the way through because this plug material is not that thick. So only a handful of threads are seated in there, but it should be good. We're not dumping tens and tens of PSI on this thing. So we will add one more round of Teflon tape to this bottom part, and then screw it in the master cylinder. Attach our bleeder. We should be good to go. Out here at the truck, you can see our adapter is plugged into this master cylinder down there at the bottom. Got our hose coming off to our pressure pump. A little brake fluid in there. I need to pump this up to, 10 PSI or so. And then we will go around to the back, start bleeding the brakes one by one. Fortunately, the one that we just replaced is the furthest away, so that's the one we'll bleed first. So start pumping this up and hope our seals hold and it doesn't blow brake fluid everywhere. Let's head to the wheel, check it out. Back behind our wheel, we have this drain bucket here. Pop that on the bleeder valve. Put the wrench on. As I loosen this, I expect nothing to happen at first as some air is pushed through, and then I expect to see brake fluid to finally come out. We'll see if there's enough pressure to get brake fluid to fill up the cylinder and come all the way down here. Bubble, bubble, brake fluid coming out. Cool. Cool. That's all we need. Not a lot. Just know that the system is full up to this point. We'll go up front to the cylinder, give it a few more pumps, go to the other wheel. Okay, we're done. We have our drain plug, our filler plug, back in there. All the brakes have been bled. Now, all that's left to do is give this brake pedal a few pumps. Let's see if it holds a pump. Getting stiffer. Yeah. Getting there. Still feels a little soft. It's getting better. Yeah. Still feels a bit soft. Let's see. It feels firm down at the end, but there is a bit of travel. I mean, once it gets down there, I'm happy with it. So we're gonna declare victory on this project. Oh. It's starting to feel firm. Let's check and make sure there aren't any leaks. Oh yeah, it's spilling a little fluid out the top. It's an overflow valve. An overflow little puncture in the filler cap. But no leaks. No leaks. So I think what's happening as I squeeze it is it's just pumping. The pressure bleeder filled up the cylinder right to the top. So I think it's just pumping out a little excess. That's what's making it feel kind of squishy. So that'll probably happen for a little bit. Once it settles down to a stable level, I think we'll be good. With that, we're done. The brakes are working again. Truck goes, truck stops. That's what we needed to do. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something about an old truck and how to work on it. Anyway, see you next time. This has been Desmond's Garage. I'm Desmond. Have fun and stay groovy.